much too much. I love you much too much. I've known it from the start, right from the start. But yet my love is such, I can't control my heart.
Welcome back once again to Strikeout Bros. What's going on, Lasha? What's going on?
What's up, man? Yes, episode 2, season 3. So in this episode, one thing we'll bring up is the MLB came up with a new TV deals. MLB TV will still exist. It's just they just changed some things around, but I'll break it down more later in the segment. But anyway, what do you have on mind?
I mean, I want to talk about this developments that with the Mets, of course, because I'm excited. I like what's going on out there. I like the team. I like the energy that I've been watching a lot of interviews with specific players, and I like what I hear and I see. I think we have a shot at something. This team looks like a special team. It's not gonna be around for a long time, but when you put special pieces together, if they're able to perform, it's gonna be fun to watch. That's what I'm saying.
No, you have every reason to be optimistic about the team. They got a bunch of new pieces. You basically got rid of pieces that you felt like weren't going to fit the team or help you progress to wait to the next level. And fans were not happy, but it's I don't blame fans, but sometimes you gotta change things around because whatever was working, whatever you had before wasn't working, so you had to change pieces around. Fans don't like it because they're used to the old, and it's hard to adjust. It's like when you move into a new place. It takes a while to get
No,
you
I see.
familiarized.
No,
You
but
know,
I think this fan base understands what happened, right? And on top of that, I think they're excited about what's about to happen. I'm excited about the season coming. I think that tomorrow's like about the first day of like officially like when the games start. So tomorrow you guys play Baltimore, or you guys are playing the Yankees. Baltimore's playing the Yankees tomorrow
I
at
haven't looked.
105.
I
At
haven't
one,
looked at the schedule.
yeah.
Um, I don't. I, spring training. I hate spring training preseason because 90% of the time the main guys aren't playing. It's basically a show and tell for the guys who are trying to make the roster. The
No,
outside
no,
look.
but it's good though. It's good because you get to see, what's going on behind the scenes type. That's what it feels like. It's like, okay, these games don't count, but you can see the at bats. You can see how a player approaches, certain pitches, and how he goes through it during that at bat. It's fun to watch. I like that stuff.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
In this case, it's good because, especially for players like Bichette and Polanco, you want to see how they play defensively. That's what you're looking
that
for in
too, that too as well. That
preseason.
too as well. You're 100% correct about that.
You
You know
know
what
the
I'm saying?
bats there, and this is where
They
you work out your kinks.
Exactly. This is why it's fun to watch too, to see them develop, development. I love it,
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I think it's gonna be fun. I was just watched a couple of interviews. Like I said, I watched Bichette, talk about moving over and him explaining that, he had to get a bigger glove because everybody that, he knew that played the position was stating that a bigger glove would help. So, he moved, I think he went from 11 to 12 inches. He feels like it's a little bigger. He's adjusting to it, but it's not a problem. So that's a good thing. He feels like he where he's that obviously he has to have a stronger arm to throw the first. But the difference is that he has more time to think because third base is closer than shortstop. When the ball comes to the shortstop, the ball's been traveling for a while. So they have to make a quicker decision. But when it's at third, the ball comes to you pretty fast, and once you have it, you have a window, and he has to. That's what he was talking about. Learning his window. But I think it's gonna be fun for him too. I think he's a great player. I think he's super clutch, and we need a bat like that. Somebody that can definitely say, you know what, yo, his on base percentage when there's men on, in scoring position is crazy. He's a hit machine. Can't wait.
Yeah, and when he gets on base, he can also has the ability to steal, so that puts more pressure on the defense. Uh,
Yeah,
you need. I always say people like Bochet, or they kind of even out the lineup as far as because if other teams can tell, okay, this is just a power hitting home run team, you know what I mean. But if you got to worry about, okay, not only got to worry about because if it's a power hitting team, you just know which players to look at. Okay, I got to look out for three of these guys because these three guys hit home runs, but everybody else that they're just pop out guys, or line drive hitters, or you know what I mean, or they're just ground ball hitters type of thing. But with Bo Bichette, it's both. He can be a power hitter plus a line, all gaps type of hitter, and that's where
yeah.
it becomes dangerous
I
because
can't
once it
wait.
gets on base, same thing with Luis Roberts. Yeah, his
Yes.
home run
Oh my
up
God. He's so.
last year, but he gets on base, and he's more of a threat than anybody else.
Yeah, he's a big dude. Yo, he's bigger than Juan Soto. That's what I have to say. He's
I
bigger
know
than
he
Juan Soto. Bigger than Juan Soto. What kind of shit are we eating? You know what I'm
and
saying?
he's got the speed,
He's
which is
huge.
for center field. Uh, I guess
My
from a
man.
center field to be that tall, that's kind of surprising because everyone thinks of center. You know what I compare center fielder to? I compare center fielder to like a running back in football. Running backs in football, they're a lot smaller, but they're
Yeah,
more agile and they can get around
cover
quicker.
ground. Yeah, cover
Yeah,
ground. Yeah.
same thing where with with a running back, you're small, you're agile, you can juke and get between tackles. Center fielder, you want to be small, not like too small, but under, taller than 5'8", but not 6'3", 6'5". You know what I mean? Because look at Aaron Judge. He's 6'7". He can't run. Mike Stanton, he's not gonna cover center field. He's just too
Yeah.
slow for that position. But Luis Roberts, he's right there. He's 6'3". He's tall enough
He's
that he could
young.
still run fast. Yeah.
He's young, man. Listen, I hope that works out for us, man. I think that him, switching up from that team that lost over 100 games, you know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah,
And
losing
And you
franchise.
know what I'm saying? A team like that, obviously you don't want to play for a team like that. You know what I'm saying? And the stroke. Can you imagine going through a season like that? It's pretty hard. I could
Yeah.
only imagine. Let me explain something to you, man. This game is so weird that I think a lot of players, they do shit a certain type of way. Like it's like, oh, okay, so I know this team ain't going anywhere, and I'm tired of this bullshit. So I'm gonna take a break. So he's gonna, use, the injury that nobody can see. You know what I'm saying? The back injury. Back injuries, we don't know how long it's gonna take to fix that. You know, at his pace, he put himself out because he's so tired of the bullshit. And this is what they keep talking about. They keep saying, "Oh, when he first came on a couple of years in 24, whatever, he was amazing." Yeah, because he has something to prove. You know what I'm saying? Then after that, he's like, "Wait a minute, look at me. What's the point?" But now it's different. Now he's on a team that actually has a shot to do something. I'm not gonna say win it all, but to do something. You know,
They're
make it
like 10 miles ahead of the Chicago White Sox,
exactly.
years ahead, They're
So
competitive.
a change of environment can change a player completely. You know what I'm saying? I think that,
Yeah.
and and when you look around and you say, "Damn, man, we're just a bomb squad." It's like a bomb squad. You know what I'm saying? But shit, Soto, Lindor, Robert Jr., you know, Alvarez, McLean, you know what I'm saying, Peralta. Like when you look around, it's pretty serious, it's not a joke. Simeon, you know, it's like what the fuck? This could be special, you know?
Yeah, that
It's,
that
it's like
Nolan McLean deal, that guy's amazing, man. I've been watching highlights on SNY YouTube,
who's that?
and Nolan McLean's like watching
Okay.
his throws in the spring training. Man, he has got gas and control, man. He's dangerous.
Yeah,
He's
I can't
for
wait for that to develop.
and he's going to his first full season now,
Yeah, yeah. So he's gonna show everybody who he is, yo. You know? I love it. I love it. It
Yeah,
looks
he's
like a
gonna be
really
your
good
next
lineup.
DeGrom.
Yeah, and if fucking Alvarez can show up and do his thing, you know. But this is the thing. This is the thing. Okay, this is what you have to understand. This is what I keep reading and I keep hearing. Right. So this injury that Lindor had, right? We'll talk more about that in a few, but the whole story. But the the injury. All right, yeah, he's gonna be available to come back and for like opening day or whatever, but he's not gonna be at 100%. Okay, it takes a while. Okay, so you saw the decline in Alvarez after he had that same injury last year, and he came back. Yeah, he came back after the 6 weeks, but there was a serious decline in his at bats. There was something wrong there. It's because it takes a while for that injury to completely heal, even though you're available to play. So that's what we expect from Lindor when he comes back. Let's see. Let's see.
Who's gonna be the
We don't know. I heard that
backup
I heard Mauricio was taking,
shots?
shots over there.
Mm.
I don't know what else. I saw Vientos is taking shots at first, you know what I'm saying? So I'm assuming that that's what's going to be the deal, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm okay with that. If Vientos is going to come and hit, man, and Vientos is going to play first base, I like that look, you know what I'm saying? But, and have Polanco DH as, that's what we got him for anyway. But, kind of swapped it up. I don't know. But anyway, Vientos
Y-
at first and Polanco, or the vice versa. It doesn't matter, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter.
Going back to Mauricio, man. When they had called him up, it's like, wow, he
First
was
time,
really
oh
good.
my God. First
And
time
then
I
that
saw him,
injury, yeah, I was like, oh wow, you got yourself a true third baseman. So all right, right? Because he came out as a third baseman. Yeah,
he had like a
shortstop.
second baseman shortstop deal, you know what I'm saying? But obviously he wasn't going to play
Either
shortstop.
way, he was really good defensively, and he was starting to get productive. And then ever since he had the injury in the winter ball in DR, it just hasn't been the same.
Yeah,
Um,
I know, but they did
Offensive
not.
standpoint,
Nah, but the one problem the Mets had last year with Acuna and all these guys, I told you, they weren't developing these guys properly. You know what I'm saying? Like the on and off, the play this, play that, play this, play that,
round robin
swap.
position.
Yeah, you can't do that to a young player because, you know what I'm saying? He's not comfortable. He's there's too much thinking going on. You know what I'm saying? When you swap positions,
You
it's a
gotta get
very
into a
hard thing to
groove.
do. You have to get
Yeah,
into a groove. You have to know what's going on. You have to feel comfortable. It's not about, yeah, I can play the position because you're going to say that. You know what I'm saying? If you're a young player, you're sitting on the bench and you're playing for the New York Mets, you're not playing for Syracuse, you're not playing for the Cyclones, you're playing for the New York Mets. And they tell you, Lasha, you're playing second base today, knowing goddamn well that, you know what I'm saying, you're third baseman, but you know what? You're going to say, what? I'm playing today. You know what I'm saying? You're going to focus on those at bats and hopefully get something going, but defensively, you're going to be shaky. You're not going to be, because then the next day, they're going to be like, Lasha, you know what I'm saying? Today, can you play third? And you're like, damn, they want me to go back to my natural position, but we just finished, having a good night at the other position. Now you have to swap and think differently once again. It's like a lot. It's a lot of work for a player, a young guy. Anyway, I don't know. I don't think they. I don't know if that's Mendoza's fault as a young manager or whoever the hell it is that's making those decisions. I don't know. I don't like it, but that's my opinion. I'm just a fan.
yeah. Well, that's why. The question is has Mauricio or Vientos played short in the past? You know what I mean? Because if they never have, are they gonna be just like a deer in the headlights in that position? Everyone thinks, oh, how could that be that bad? You're just moving over like 20 feet. No, it makes a big difference because it's
It's a
about
big
where you
difference.
set up. You have more ground to cover. You got to figure out your throwing angles. Because throwing you have more distance from third to second, so you have time to set yourself up. Where if you're a shortstop and you've never been there, your reaction time has to be like by the time you clap your hands fast, snap of a finger, because by the time you get that ball out, that runner is his toes are literally about to touch second base. So you gotta have snap judgment and snap decisions and getting the ball. And not only that, you gotta make sure you get out cleanly, and you gotta make sure that the guy, in this case, Simeon or whoever, yeah, Simeon's gonna be a second, is in position to catch your throw.
Yeah,
You know,
that's true. That's the other
you know,
thing. The chemistry, and knowing
yeah.
how a player is gonna throw to you, because you have that certain chemistry that how a player likes it, or how you have to locate it for them because they're comfortable with that throw. You know what I'm saying? When you have somebody that you don't know playing the position next door to you, you know what I'm saying, that complicates a lot of plays. But nobody's thinking about shit like that, right? I don't know. That's weird, right?
Well, it doesn't matter because you have to think about it. No one thinks about it now because it's preseason. No one cares. But you do have you know when you gotta think about it when you see the errors racking up and you realize, oh my goodness, come on, man, that guy should
What
have been out, or
exactly?
or what should have been a double play is not a double play because he took a long time getting the ball out and
Yeah,
now the only play was at first.
yeah, and
Clean
they don't have any chemistry. They don't
or
have
you overthrow the ball and the ball gets on
yeah,
the guy's glove and now it's in center field or overthrow him. So it's just like how a receiver and a quarterback in football need to be on the same page,
exactly,
you
exactly,
know. So
and
it does matter,
it does
even if
matter.
you're playing short time. So they're saying, okay, right now that what they're saying for Lindor is about 6.5 weeks. That should take you right up
Yes,
to opening day. But my question is this: yeah, it might take you up to opening day from a paper standpoint, as far as technically time frame for this type of injury is 6 weeks, but we don't know. He's not going to be picking up the bat and swinging, you know what I mean, or throwing the ball,
I
you know what
mean,
I mean,
no, he
or
can't even catch the ball because it says that it's like
palm of your
it
hand. Yeah,
stems from catching a ball that's coming pretty fast is gonna hurt your hand.
yeah, definitely. Even
Swinging
and
with
those
the
gloves don't.
knob, you know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be serious. This is what he was saying. So that went going back to the baseball classic. He has some bone spurs at his right elbow or whatever, and he had the surgery in the off season. And when it came to the World Baseball Classic, the Classic told them, "Well, we can't insure you because we haven't seen you play since you've had that surgery." So Bad Bunny was willing to pay, you know, God forbid he got injured in the World Baseball Classic, his yearly salary for, MLB. Because MLB does not pay your salary if you get hurt playing in that tournament. So apparently the insurance company that Bad Bunny was representing with uh WBC didn't allow it or some shit like that. So this is why he was unable to play. I mean, that's prior to him saying that, he needed to get surgery. And this is because he complained about some pain there. They ran some tests, and then the second time around, they found something, and they said, you know what, we're gonna address it now, so this we can move forward. You know what I'm saying? So boom, this is where we're at now, which is all it's all weird and shit. But hopefully, he's able to come back from it. And right now, I believe he's wearing a soft cast, so and he's doing running drills and stuff like that. So hopefully, we're moving in the right direction, and it all goes well because we need him in the lineup. That's for sure. That's not a joke.
Yeah, and then the other thing is, the other reason why it could affect him, because we all know Lindor's a slow starter, which is fine. He
Yeah.
gets hot once.
Not
I
not
would say
last year, not last year, but
no, but
he
the year his first year,
usually, usually, usually,
usually.
usually,
So okay, so let's say he's all right. He's supposed to come back in March. Okay, so let's say he's fully good by the beginning of April. What are we gonna have to wait till like May, for, like the end of May, for him to be like, all right, really get in the groove? You know what I mean?
yeah,
And you don't want that. Now it's okay because here's what if that does happen, it's okay if Roberts is hitting well, if Alvarez is contributing crazy offensively, if
hmm
Soto's contributing, if all those guys are
yeah,
contributing, but
yeah,
if none of those guys are contributing and it's just and Lindor's also struggling, oh boy, that's what happened to the Yankees a couple years ago. A- Aaron Judge was the only one that was contributing, and everybody else was not contributing. And that's why they fell short. And you can't have that. You need all everyone to click for it to work.
yeah.
All three phases of baseball have to work: starting, offensively, defensively, and your closer. That's how you win.
I agree.
So I like I said, thank goodness. Now, from the injury report we read off last week, out of all the guys that have this handmade injury,
Yeah,
he's the one that has the least. It's the least severe. It's not as severe. You know what I mean? It's partial, so that's good.
yeah, it's pretty crazy. Let's see. Hopefully this works out.
Yeah. Oh, and then what do you think about let's see, what's his name? Carson Bench. He's making a name for
Yeah, yeah. I was watching some videos on that guy, and I think that guy has what it takes to be a New York, ball player. I think he has the spark. I think he has something. Let's see.
does
If that
does he
works
make
out,
the
man, oh my God.
does he make the opening day roster? That was my
I
question.
think I think that he might just make that opening day roster, and that'll be amazing. That'll be great. It shows that the system works, and I think he's that type of player from what I see. I think he is. He has an opportunity to do it. Hopefully, he doesn't shit the bed, and if he doesn't, we got something on our hands. And this team,
Well,
oh man, it has a little bit of everything. I like it.
well, then what happens then is then
Tyrone
Tyrone
Taylor would be
now
the fourth.
automatically becomes a bench
No,
player.
no, he's automatically no. He can or he might get even the DFA. He might not even make the ball club because we have a couple of other options as well.
Yeah, I saw that.
So yeah, so I can't remember the names off the top of my head right now, but what I was thinking about
You still have
was
Jose Siri.
I don't believe so.
He was remember you
Nah,
fired
we
him.
nah, we don't
Somebody.
have that guy. We don't have that guy. I think we got rid of that. We
Oh,
don't have that. We don't have that problem. Listen, all those problems that I was complaining about last year, they're all gone. So like, I'm happy. Let's see. We have new problems now. But you know what I want to talk about? I want to talk about the Baltimore Orioles, and I want to talk about something specific about the Yankees. You know what I'm saying? They say it's like the same old Yankees, but then again, I forgot about something. My dad reminded me the other day. He was like, you know what? The Yankees have a lot of good pitching. You know what I'm saying? If you think about it.
yes, they're
So yeah,
getting
they're
Cole
pitching.
back.
Yeah, they're getting Cole back, right? They have Freed, right? So, oh
What
man,
is
that's a
Stanton?
1-2. That's a one
Stanton,
two right there, right? And then they have Paul Blackburn, who can turn it over and maybe have a good year. You never know. They also have, what I'm saying,
Littler, I think Cam Littler, the rookie from last year. I think that's his name.
Luis Hill. They got him.
Luis Heel. Yep, he
You know
came
what I'm
back.
saying? And they have Rodon, right?
Yep, it'll be interesting how he does. He did.
Yeah,
He was by the beat. And then Max Fried, obviously, him and Fried
obviously.
were the
Yeah,
best
telling me they
pitchers
have good
last year.
pitching. So my dad was right. My dad is right. So listen, with that pitching, they can definitely go somewhere because that's important, man. That's important. The problem for the Yankees is the lineup. Is the lineup good enough? Because now you have Baltimore there. Now you have the ultimate Blue Jays now. Not the Toronto Blue Jays, the ultimate Blue Jays, because their pitching is pretty nasty, and they've gotten better. You know what I'm saying?
Yep,
So
they
like,
got Dylan Cease.
they've gotten
Should
better.
be back.
So you have a problem there. Okay, so you have to get through that.
The Rays are a tough team. They always play tough,
Always they're
and
tough.
they always find pitches out of nowhere.
Yeah, so
You know,
the
so they're
Yankees
gonna
don't have it
be good.
easy, but the Yankees have good pitching. So if they can, hold it down and but I think you guys will definitely have, you're gonna eat well against the Yankees. And I think Toronto's gonna eat well against the Yankees because Toronto's not scared of the Yankees.
Toronto owned it. What was it?
The series,
Uh,
yes, they did. They owned
no,
the series.
they owned the Yankees. But what I was gonna say, I a couple days ago I was listening to, and they were saying last year, IKF, he used to be on the Yankees. He was saying how like
Yes, yes.
he was basically taking a cheap shot at the Yankees without saying it, but he was like basically saying, "Man, I'm glad the Red Sox didn't make it because I was more afraid of them because they had a better lineup and their pitching staff was
Exactly.
better, with
Exactly.
Giolito and so on and so on." And so they were glad. So see, the Blue Jays found a flaw in the Yankees, and that flaw was okay. If we could just either pitch around Judge, and we could attack everybody else, we know the other guys can't hit us. They're not going to hurt us, and that's exactly what happened. Judge was the only person you had to worry about. You know what I mean? Where if you had to worry about, you know, last year, the year before, you had to worry about Judge, you had to worry about Soto, you had to worry about Stanton. So you had a couple guys to worry about. Last year, you know, during the regular season, Cody Bellinger had a great year. But
Yeah.
then the postseason came and he was trash. Stanton always shows up. He was good. but it was just not enough to carry the team. They didn't get any production from them offensively from Austin Wells. Goldschmidt, he's on the back nine of his career, so he's not going to do much. Volpe, he's a disaster. Jazz Chisholm's Jr., he's a line drive hitter. He can hit home runs, but he's not, he's not gonna make a pitcher shaking his shoes. You know what I mean? Shaking his boots.
Yeah, I understand.
So, if I only got worried about Judge, the same thing with the Mets last year. They only had to worry about two guys when you face the Mets. Oh, you have to worry about three guys. You have to worry about Lindor, Soto, and Alonso.
Alonso.
This year, you got to worry about 4 to 5 guys now. You got to worry about Roberts. You got to worry about Bichette. You got to worry about Polanco. All these guys can hit home runs. And you got to worry about Soto. You got to worry about Alvarez. So that's 5 guys I just named that you got to worry about. So now you got to be more
You didn't even
strategic.
mention Lindor. You didn't even mention
And
Lindor.
Lindor. Yeah,
You didn't even
Lindor.
mention Lindor.
I know. But when Lindor is hot, he's very
Yes,
dangerous.
he's
So
very dangerous.
that's
He
5 guys, 5, 6 guys that now you have to be strategic against in the lineup. Where last year was only Lindor and Soto you have to worry about, and Alonso.
Alonso.
You know what I mean? Now you have 4 or 5 guys they got to worry
It's
about.
more. It's more. It's more than that. But we'll leave it like that. We'll leave it at that. I'm not
But
gonna keep
still,
it.
it's more than last year.
It's more than that. You know what I'm saying?
So
Because you have Simeon too, though. You know what I'm saying? You you have a
Simeon,
lot.
he's there more for his defense than his at bat
Yeah, yeah,
because
but
he's
he can
also on
hit
the back
them.
nine. But he can hit. So he can get into one.
Yeah,
You
man.
make a mistake, he will eat you alive. So yes,
But
I agree.
this is what it is. It's a perfect balance of like the right players to me. You know what I'm saying? You have the veterans, right? You have the young guys. You have the guys that are in their prime. You have guys that have shown, serious potential. And it looks really, really good. It's a perfect blend of stuff. You know what I'm saying? You got I'm gonna call him. He's still a rookie to me. You know what I'm saying? The McClings. You know what I'm saying? You have the stud Peralta. You have the
Yeah, but Dre.
veterans Manea. You know what I'm saying? You have Senga who's gonna have to reintroduce himself to the baseball world with he has to come back with something different, something new because he has to figure it out if he wants to be part of this team. There's a lot of players. Clay Holmes has to prove that he can do it again. You know what I'm saying? That he's not a fluke. You know what I'm saying? Starter. That he's an actual starter. You know what I'm saying? Second year in. Of being a starter. It's gonna be.
Well, good thing with that is if he doesn't do
He
well as a
can
starter,
fall right into the
the
situation.
eighth inning
Exactly.
center, Devin Williams, or vice versa.
Exactly. Luke Weaver was taking shots
Weaver.
at the Yankees too. We have a lot of
Yep, I
people
saw
that are
that.
proving things, that are trying to prove things here.
There was a cute video of a kid asking him, "Are you glad they came
Saw
over
that.
to?" He's like,
You
"Yeah,
sent that. You sent that to me, fool.
yeah, yep." So, it'll be interesting to see how he does. The bullpen looks good. The only question you have in bullpen is which Devin
The
Williams are
bounce
you going
back.
to get?
The bounce back. The bounce back.
Yeah,
Exactly.
are you going to get the Williams of the Yankees or the Williams of the Brewers? You hope to get
I
that
think
one.
I think he's gonna be a lot more comfortable here in this system with the Mets. I just feel like
It's less pressure.
it's less pressure. Exactly. It's not like the kind of pressure that you get from being a Yankee and what they expect from you. And I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Listen, 81 games in that stadium is hard. You know what I'm saying? Because it's so small. Now Devin Williams has a little bit of more space to play with. You know what I'm saying? I think that makes a
He has
big
more leeway. He has more room to make a mistake.
mistake. Exactly.
He's not gonna get killed. Like
No, he's not gonna get killed like a Yankee Stadium.
he's not gonna be like John Carl Stanton in his first at bat with the Yankees. He got booed because he went 0 for 3 and they wanted to boo him out of town. They're not gonna do that in Flushing.
No, they're not gonna do
They'll
that
be
in plus.
patient.
Of course, come on, man. Think about it. How patient were they with Diaz? Diaz was garbage, man. Let's be honest. Let's be honest, man. Listen, I never stopped complaining about him. He was always weird. He always had, the weirdest way of winning games. I'm not gonna continue to, say, oh, I miss him. You know what I'm saying? But listen, I'm not saying that a combination of him and Williams together, you know what I'm saying? Even though Diaz was erratic, you know what I'm saying? They would have really fucked shit up. You know what I'm saying? The bullpen would have been a little crazy. Would have been, you know, even better than I think it is now. I think it's really good now, and I think it could always be better. But this is the catch, right? The catch is that your man Craig, you know what I'm saying? I know you hate him, but Craig is looking good.
Oh, Kimbrough.
Yes, he's showing signs of he might just make this club. And you know what? That's the crazy thing about that is that if you have Weaver, Williams, and Craig, you know what I'm saying? If you have that combination and Craig is doing what he's supposed to do, I think it's gonna be fun to watch.
As long as he's not the setup man, or as long as he's not the closer, then yeah,
No, he
he's
needs
good
to be
for
the
winning
closer. He
games.
needs to be the closer.
Who? Craig Kimbrough? No
Yes.
way. He's terrible.
Nah,
Telling
you
you,
say
man.
that. Yeah, nah.
He
Diaz is terrible. Diaz is terrible.
they're on the same page. Two terrible one A and terrible one B, if you want to call it that. Trust me, I watch a bunch of Orioles games.
I don't know.
Anyway,
I watched so much of it.
he is he's good for one inning. You put him in the sixth inning, okay, cool. But
In
if
the
you put him
sixth
bring him in there
inning,
with yeah, you got Weaver, or seventh inning, I guess. Yeah, seventh inning. Yeah, him, Weaver, and then Williams. So yeah, seventh inning. But either way, don't bring him in when this base is loaded because you he's gonna make you piss. He's gonna make you think of Edwin Diaz again. So yeah, as long as it's not like if it's like nobody out, he comes into the seventh inning and beginning of the seventh inning, nobody on, he'll be fine. But once he gets runners on, forget about it. You might as well.
nah,
He's like
you
Crystal
don't know. You
Glaciers.
don't know. He might just be completely different, man. The
No,
teams, environments, everything. Or a little vacation away from the game. It changes. It changes people. You know what I'm saying?
he was in Atlanta last year. I think he went to Atlanta last year, and he didn't do nothing. He was not non-effective or non-existent. They barely used him.
Don't forget the pitching coaches make a difference, man. You know what I'm saying? One coach might say this, the other coach might say that. Change the elevation, change the slot. You know what I'm saying? Change things. Here and there, tweak this, tweak that. That can change a player. You don't know. My ideas for a player might be different from yours. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah,
know, that's the beauty of it. It's a chess match, right? So the whole organization can see something in Lasha that the athletics don't see. You know what I'm saying? Or
yeah,
your value, depends on the team you're on and the type of budget that this team is trying to put together. You know what I'm saying? So like we hate McNeil, but the athletics are gonna love McNeil because he's a big piece for them. You know what I'm saying? Because he brings a lot to the plate. You know what I'm saying? He can play multiple positions. You know what I'm saying? He was once a batting champion. You know what I'm saying? So the potential is there for him to turn it around and just become a contact hitter that gets on base and does his job. You know what I'm saying? He's a leader. He can become a leader. You know what I'm saying? He can be the voice of the clubhouse, which he definitely wasn't when he was with the Mets. But now that he's a veteran and he has all this, you know, experience, he's a different type of player for that type of team.
yeah. Like I said, I hope it works out. That'd be great because then he's on his back nine. So if he can parlay into
I like that. I like that.
extra cash and he gets a bonus, I'm sure there's some bonus clause involved in this contract
Yeah, the bonus was the
for
Mets had
him.
to pay $5 million to get rid of him, but that's nothing. It's worth it.
Yeah. So like I said, uh, it's a low risk, high reward is what you're hoping for. Just like with the Orioles when they got Chris Bassett,
What are you
low
talking
risk,
about? You keep saying
high
that, but
reward.
listen to me. You keep saying that, but you know what? Your rotation
I'm
is looking way better now with Chris Bassett there. Chris Bassett, he's
I'm
in a
saying that
comma, he's in a pitch, and he's gonna do his thing, and he's not trying to lose, and he's a experienced pitcher. You know what I'm saying? And he has skill. So you say it like that, but you're gonna be surprised. You're gonna be surprised.
listen,
We're gonna
I
talk
I
about
hope
this later.
you're
We're gonna
right.
talk
I
about.
hope you're right.
Trust me, we're gonna be talking about
I
this
would
later.
love wrong. But I'm just going remember what have you done for me lately? That's what you're going by. And what I have to go by is the World Series. in the
Don't listen to
postseason.
me. No, no, don't give me this bullshit. Listen to me. Okay, you
It's
got
true.
Helsley. You got Helsley, right? Helsley was amazing for St. Louis, right? And we
Terrible
traded
New
for
York.
him. We lost, came to New York when we needed him the most, and he just could not figure it out, right? Now I know that this guy's amazing. It's not just. It was the transition. It had to be. You know what I'm saying? The uprooting of a guy from here to there mid-season is must have been terrible. It must be like the worst shit that could have happened to a player. I mean, unless you're like going from Chicago to the Yankees, who are playoff bound, that clinched or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Already. You're going to the Dodgers. You're going to a team where you're like, oh my God, I might get a ring this year. You know what I'm saying? Now I have to bring my best to this team that's trying to go places. That's great. But still the transition is crazy. So maybe that didn't work out for him. But now he's going to your team. So I guarantee you that he's gonna do well. Because now, he has time to, understand and get it together and prepare himself properly. It's gonna be good for him.
Yeah, he's gonna be our closer because Batista's still not back from his ACL injury. So yeah, it's, like I said, it's same thing. It's a good signing because
Yes, it is.
it's low risk, high reward. You know what I mean? If he does great, it's a high reward. You didn't have to you didn't have to give him a tons of money, and you gain him for a good bargain. You know what I mean? And he's
Yeah.
gonna help you win close games out until
I
you
mean,
get
think about it. The
Batista
crazy, the
back.
crazy shit is that
And it's a 1 year deal, I think. I don't
yeah,
know.
I'm not sure. You should know that. But the
Uh,
funny shit is that if you would have done well last year with the Mets, obviously the Mets would have said, you know what, we want you back. But it was so
mhm.
bad that there was no way in hell it wouldn't have made any sense. It didn't mean that he couldn't make it here. It just meant that he couldn't perform at the right time. I
Yeah,
don't,
he's not reliable.
you know, I don't know.
But yeah, so the Orioles, with them, they're not gonna have their third baseman for a while. Jordan Westberg. They said he hasn't done any batting or he hasn't even picked up a bat, so it's gonna be a while. He hasn't taken in like ground balls training and all that. So that's fine. They'll have to find somebody or go within. They'll probably put Kobe Mayo at third because he can play a different position because he's a natural first baseman. But with Alonso being there, now you can keep Mayo and just put Mayo at third base, and that as a replacement until Westberg comes back from his injury. And then the other thing I've been seeing is I don't think Baltimore is going to do this, but the thoughts of maybe they might trade Rutschman and see if they can get prospects. I saw a potential trade where they would trade him to Cincinnati, and we get two pitching prospects and another catcher back in return. His value has gone down a little bit just because he had an off season, off year production wise. But he's still a power threat. He's a really good defender. It just I think the Orioles like Messiah more. He reminds them of Salvador Perez, big guy, good defense. He's got power galore. He's only going to get stronger. So they have a good problem at the catching position.
That's a
It's
great problem having. The problem at first base too. All right. So if that guy comes back the
yeah,
way he was last year, you guys have something good. Because you always said, "Oh, we don't have power. We don't have power." But now, if Alonso comes in playing the way he played last year with that energy that he wants to win,
just hit home
that's-
runs.
yeah. Listen, he's gonna be. Oh my God, he's gonna be such a great addition to your team, and I think he will. He has something to prove, and I think if falls right into the slot, man, oh, it's gonna be crazy. Last year he was a doubles machine. You know what I'm saying? And he was hitting the ball really well. He was waiting for his pitches. You know what I'm saying? His strikeouts went down. I think that if he brings that, oh, that lineup, I think gonna be just fine. Then you got that problem at catch. You know what I'm saying? So I think you're gonna be all right.
Yeah, and then because at outfield they got what's his name Taylor Ward from the Angels. They did a trade with him. The Colton Cowser will be back. He'll be out there. So and then the other thing is is Henderson gonna be producing because he had a down year offensively. So if he can get start producing, Jackson Holiday, he's another one. He's gonna be out for a while. He's got the injury. He's doing well, but he's not ready to come back. So he's going into his I guess second full season now. Jackson Holiday, and they made a big deal out of him. Being the number one prospect and all that. And so far, I haven't been impressed, to be honest with you. You know, it's different hitting in AAA and AA, but to get to the majors, they've been selling us. Oh, he's got this amazing pop in the bat, and I was like, yeah, he gets into them. Don't get me wrong, but he's not consistent right now. He's
Yeah,
not a threat. You know what I mean? He's not a. When I look at him, I don't see. Oh my goodness, is that? Oh my god, I don't see a Lindor in him. I don't see Soto in him. You know what I mean? A threat. I just see, okay, cool. We can attack him. He gets into one. Oh well, we'll take our losses. That's what I see in Jackson Holiday. So it'll be interesting. Like I said, uh, I'm excited for them offensively. I think they'll be. I think they're going to be a lot better than last year. They just had a really down year.
yeah,
Uh, so that's not the reason. That and no pitching staff. They literally pieced together a pitching staff. Charlie Morton, Tomogono Sagano from Japan. You know, and then also, you know, they lost Rodriguez, Grayson Rodriguez, who they traded to get Ward. When he pitched, he was good, but he wasn't like I wasn't concerned about him. Like if I'm an opponent, I'm like, all right, this game could go either way. I didn't look at him as a lockdown, so that's why
I
they
got
were willing to let him go. In that trade, they get Tyler Wells back. It'll be interesting. They get best guy they're gonna get back, who had a great year, was Kyle Bradish. He was lights out, and then he had that ACL injury. He had to be out all last year. Tyler Rogers should be back. He's the guy they got from Miami a couple years ago. He had a good second half. So, like I said, my biggest concern is their pitching because it's the unknown. And what you don't know is what most people are
nah. You
afraid
feel
of.
that way, but I don't feel that way for you. I think you're gonna be all right. Stop
Like I
saying,
said,
saying that.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
that
We'll
pitching.
see.
Chris Bassett is a great pitcher. You have Eflin. That's a great pitcher. You know what
Eflon,
I'm
he's
saying?
a good re-signing.
Yeah, bro. You got pieces. You
Mm,
don't stop playing. You acting like you don't have you know something decent to work with. But we're gonna talk about postseason grades. So like they graded. The list came out. They graded everybody. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. Yeah.
So now number one at the top of the list is who do you think? Give me. Let me see if you can come up with
All right. So
the
I'm gonna
top
give you.
five.
I'm gonna top five. Dodgers number one, most likely
No, the Dodgers are ended at number two.
for the grade as far as
They
grading
got
on
an
what
A.
their
They got an
performance
A. No, on what they
off
got off
season.
season.
Oh, okay,
Up season upgrades. You know what I'm saying? So the list
okay.
came out for that. But
I'm gonna go with
Boston
let's
is in
see,
there. I mean, you said the Dodgers, right? So the Dodgers number
Dodgers,
four.
Boston. I'd
Okay,
say Mets top five because
all right, but
they
let's talk about the Dodgers first. All right, so not only did they win two World Series back to back, right? They go out there and they get Kyle Tucker. Apparently, it went down to the Mets and the Dodgers. Obviously, Kyle Tucker picked the Dodgers because I would have picked the Dodgers as well. Not because of this, they have something about them. You know what I'm saying? They have a winning energy. They have a great roster. They have great players. You know what I'm saying? You want to be surrounded by that. You want to be surrounded by greatness. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason why they win, so many games and why they play so well. Because they're surrounded by greatness. All right, yeah, they have funny ways of getting all these players together, by, moving money in different ways. But listen, you have to try to beat them. They're the best, right? So then on top of that, they go out there, they get Kyle Tucker, right? they steal Edwin Diaz from the Mets too, which is crazy. So this is personal now, you know what I'm saying? They steal Diaz from the Mets too. But like I said, good riddance. I don't care. Right? They get Miguel Rojas, right? They re-signed him, right?
Hmm.
They re-signed Hernandez, Enrique, and they re-signed
Yeah.
Phillips. Right? They got rid of Conforto, they got rid of Banda and Yates, but they just got better. You know what I'm saying? So
And Otani is going to be pitching this year, so they got better in the pitching department as
yeah,
well.
they got better. They got better. And then you mentioned that you said Boston. So yeah, Boston is definitely in there. Boston
Boston with all those
where
pitching.
they got Rangers Suarez, Sonny Gray, Wilson Contreras is gonna be playing first base for them. You know what I'm saying? Johan Oviedo, right? Caleb Durbin,
Mhm.
IKF, like you said, right? And Andrew
That's right.
Monasterio. Yo, so they got, you know,
And
they
they
got
got that
sick.
guy Roman Anthony is going to his first full year
I mean,
prospect.
they lost a lot of good stuff though. They lost, Giolito, they lost Bergman.
Bellin,
You know what I'm saying?
Bregman, yep.
So it's not like they, but they figured it out. And then who else do you think is up there?
I'm gonna go with Toronto with getting Dylan Cease and all that. I go with
Toronto,
Toronto.
my friend, got a B plus, so that's good because
Okay,
we're gonna do
that's
the
good.
A's and the B pluses. So yeah, they got, they lost Bassett,
Which team's got the
guys.
A plus or A's?
Okay, yeah, we can do the A's.
Let's
Okay,
do A through C or A
say no
through
more.
F.
No, A, no, we're gonna do A through B. That's enough. Trust me. All right,
Yeah, we'll
another
do all
team
that.
that's a sleeper to me. This is fun stuff right here. So like,
Oh, I could take a guess.
what's the team?
Texas Rangers.
Nope, I didn't. Nope.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, the Tigers. All right,
Oh
so
yes.
think about this, right? They have schoolball, right? And then they go out, they get Valdez, right? That was a surprise because I never thought that Valdez would land there. But think about it, it
Maybe.
makes sense for Valdez because now you have schoolball Valdez, right? And then you bring back Verlander. All right,
Yep, I was just
All right, so you have that going on, right? And then you get Kelly Jansen too, right?
closer. Yep,
Yeah, right. You get
with the Braves.
Kaufman again, right? Keep Kaufman again, keep him, and then Torres accepts the qualifying offer. But think about it, you have a pretty serious rotation there,
Yeah,
and you were already
they're
pretty
very
good
full.
last year. You were great last year, so you do this. This is interesting because everybody thought that schoolball was moving, but apparently now they're playing for, they're playing for it. Fun stuff.
Yeah, I with Detroit, I just don't know how good their bullpen is. But the offensive, they're a good team. Baez, Green, and so on. So
Yeah, to see if
offensively is not the
Bias, yeah,
problem.
if Bias can play the same way again, yeah.
But they definitely because the problem was their starting rotation in the playoffs is what it just didn't come through when it needed to. Other than Screwball and the other guy that he's gonna be out for a little bit. I forgot the name of his pitcher, but anyway. So yeah, the I forgot about the Tigers. So Dodgers, Boston, Tigers.
Just yeah.
Who-
The other one is
Who's the other A team?
the other A team is the A minus Seattle Mariners, and I'll explain to you
Mariners.
what happened to them. Yeah, the
I
Mariners.
totally forgot about them.
All right. So the Mariners are weird because you say, all right, they re-signed Josh Naylor, right? I kind of knew that was gonna happen, right? They picked up Brandon Donovan, Jose Ferrer, and
Oh, Donovan's the guy from
Rush Schneider.
Cardinals. Yeah, Robert, and they let go of Suarez. I think he left.
All right, so they
Eugenio
lost. Yeah,
Suarez.
they lost Polanco to the Mets. Obviously, Eugenio Suarez, they lost him exactly like you said, and Mitch Ford, right? So I don't know. Let's see. That doesn't sound like an A minus to me, but I don't know anything. Now we got a B plus here, B plus. This is
B plus team.
The Mets.
Mets a B plus. Okay.
All right, so they got Freddie Peralta, Bo Bichette, Jorge Polanco, Marcus Simeon, Luis Robert Jr., Devin Williams, Luke Weaver, Tobias Myers. Holy shit. That's crazy. Just, reading that shit like that, it's pretty crazy.
I'm gonna
They
guess the Braves. I'm
no
gonna
time
say.
out though, because time out. I want to mention this part because this is gonna be great. I love
Oh
saying
yeah,
it.
go ahead.
The departures for the Mets were Peter Alonso, Edwin Diaz, Brandon Nimmo, Jeff McNeil, Brandon Sproat, Starling Marte, Luis Acuna, right? Griffin
Hmm.
Canning, Ryan Stanek, and Tyler Rogers. Gone. All right.
Hall, what's his name? Halsley. What's his name? The guy that went to
Ryan
Baltimore.
Housen. Yes.
Yeah.
No, he was a rental. Yeah, we lost him. So
So considering you lost all those pieces and you're able to recuperate better than what you lost, yeah, that's a pretty good grade if you ask me.
yeah, it's pretty good grade, B plus, right? And Toronto, which almost won the World Series, they got a B plus as well, right?
Yeah.
So they get Dylan Cease, right? They got some Asian guy, the Kazuma Akamoto, right?
Oh,
They
from
get
Japan.
they get Tyler Rogers, which my dad loved. He was like, man, I wanted to keep that guy. They got Cody Ponce and Jesus Sanchez, right? They lost Boba Shet, which is great for the Mets, obviously. Chris Bassett to you guys, Max Scherzer, and I don't did Scherzer get a job? I'm not
I
sure.
don't think so. I think he's
I
still a
don't
free
think
agent.
so.
He's not gonna get one. I think it's
Uh,
over for him.
Yeah, I think it's. I mean,
Unless he's probably gonna wait out to see if a pitcher gets hurt in the spring training, then he might jump on with somebody. So that's the only way I see him getting on a team. What about the Giants? Where what was their grade? I feel like they did pretty good.
let me see. No. Time out. Let's talk about another B plus team.
Oh,
You guys,
Baltimore.
yeah. So you guys picked up Peter Alonso, Taylor Ward, Shane Baz, Chris Bassett, Zach Eflin was a resign, Ryan Helsley, Andrew Kittredge, and Blaze Alexander. Come on, man.
So Kittredge, I like the Kittredge signing. He was great with Baltimore. He went to Chicago. He was all right. He would, but so yeah, it was a good re-signing. Yeah, they they
Come
checked
on,
off what they needed
come
to do.
on, man.
Get
Come on,
get
man.
power hitting,
And they addressed the pitching. They did.
and they addressed the outfield too. So yes, they addressed the pitching too. Maybe just not to the way I wanted to.
Come on. They addressed the pitching. Stop it. Okay. You wanted Dylan Cease and you wanted Peralta and you wanted, Frambel. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right.
I
Why
know what you
not?
want. I know what you wanted, but
They
you
got
didn't get
money
that.
to pay,
I
so you should.
know I know what you wanted, but you didn't get that. You didn't get no C's, you didn't get Frambel. You know what I'm saying? But it's okay.
Taste the
You lost
Corbin
Grayson Rodriguez. You lost Grayson. All right. And then Atlanta got a B plus as well. Then Louis got a B plus. Chicago got a B. Now you said you wanted to know what San Francisco did. They got a B. All right. They got Luis Arez, which I'm hating them for because I wanted that guy so bad. I would have solved the problem very easily. That on first, Polanco DH. Case closed. We would have got 200 hits from Arez and we would have been happy. Right? They got Adrian Hauser, Harrison Bader. I don't think they lost Verlander and they lost Wilmer Flores. That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know Flores had
Yeah,
left.
I didn't know that. That's news to me right now. And I want to say that does the Hebrew have a team
What
right
did
now?
the Yankees get? Did you say the Yankees?
The Yankees.
Maybe you already mentioned them.
I'm trying to figure out. Oh no,
And
I
then
was
mention the Phillies since they're in your division as well.
all right. So let me see. You said the Yankees. The
Yeah,
Yankees. Oh, the Yankees are low in the. Let me see. Let me see where the Yankees are. It's interesting stuff.
I would say C because they only got Bellinger.
Let me see. Oh,
Well, they
Yankees.
probably got more
No,
people,
they
but
got a C plus.
yeah, they got Bellinger and some other people.
Okay,
And
so they
then,
got
all right,
Bellinger.
what about
We
the yeah
they
Bellinger?
got Trent Grisham, something a qualifying
Resign
offer.
him.
Right,
Yeah.
they re-signed Goldschmidt and they re-signed Amanda Rosario, and they got a pitcher, left-handed pitcher Ryan Weathers. Right, they lost Devin Williams and Luke Weaver. That's hilarious because they're both on the other side of town. That's fucking hilarious. But yeah, and then you said you wanted me to tell you what the Phillies
The
did, right?
Phillies, the
All right.
NL East.
Okay, here we go. I'll give you the Phillies right now.
Oh, and then give me the Milwaukee Brewers because they made a lot of changes too.
Yeah. This is the funny shit about the Milwaukee Brewers. All right, so Milwaukee Brewers they ended up getting Brandon Woodruff, right? They got Jet Williams from the Mets and Brandon Sproat, right? For Peralta. They got Kyle Harrison, Shane Droham, Andrew Serba, Gary Sanchez, and
Oh,
David
he's in
Hamilton.
Milwaukee. Wow.
Now, yeah. And they lost Freddie Peralta, obviously. Caleb Durbin, Isaac Collins, Jose Quintana, trash. Reese Hoskins, and Nick Mears.
He's past his prime. Yes.
and obviously Tobias Myers, who apparently I think is going to be in the bullpen, but he can win a job on the roster. I'm not on the rotation. I'm not sure because I don't know how many pitchers they're going with. I'm pretty sure it's going to be six because of Senga, but I don't know. But they got a C. That's a C for that. All right. And then you said you wanted to know where the Phillies landed.
Mm-hmm.
The Phillies, my friend. I'm still looking for them. Wait a minute. No way. I'm still past them. Let me see. I don't see them here at all. Looking. I'm looking, folks. I'm sorry. Oh, here it is. I got a B minus. All right, so they picked up. Yeah, obviously, we signed Kyle Schwarber. Real Muto, they re-signed them as well, and then they got Brad Keller and Adalis Garcia. So they didn't
Oh,
do
that's
much.
right.
They lost Ranger Suarez, right? Matt Stram, Castellanos, and Harrison Bader. So they're pretty much the exact same team, which isn't good or isn't bad, but they're getting old. It's kind of like what the Mets didn't want to do. So it's gonna be interesting to watch.
Okay, what about the San Diego Padres?
San Diego Padres. I'm tired of them. You know what I'm saying? Because I believe in them more than I believe in the Mets. I always say, oh, these guys, they off to a hot start, right? They look like they can do something in the division. I don't know. They're playing against the Dodgers. It's hard, but you always want to root for the underdog, you know. But they got Michael King. All right, they re-signed him, which is amazing because I would have liked that Michael King on the Mets. You know, Miguel Andujar, Sung Mong Song, the Castellanos. They picked them up quickly.
Yep, that was the other day
Yep, and Griffin Canning, X
on the
Men.
Mets, right?
He
Yeah.
got hurt, man. He was good, man. He was good, but they lost Dylan Cease, Robert Suarez, Luis Arez, and Ryan O'Hearn. That's gonna hurt them, bro.
Oh yeah, Hearn, my
That's
boy from the Orioles, he went to Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh got Marcelo Ozuna.
yep.
Pittsburgh's still a couple years away. They had the pitching staff, and your offense is just not right there yet. But Pittsburgh could be a Pittsburgh is going to be one of those tough teams that it's not going to be a walkover. I think you're going to have to fight to beat them.
I don't know. I don't know what to say about that.
Okay, who got the worst grade? Let's give me the worst grade.
Well, that's easy. The Minnesota
Colorado
Twins.
Rockies.
They ended up getting Josh
Twins.
Bell and Victor Caratini. That's it. That's what they did. They got two players. They lost none. They lost their president of baseball operations guy. That's
Wow, that's good.
it. That's crazy, right?
Oh, what about Cleveland? Give me Cleveland.
What Cleveland? Cleveland,
Yeah, I'm just leaning off
A
teams that
D
made the
plus,
playoffs.
A D plus. Well, they
Cleveland
got
got
Sean. Well,
wow.
they got one pitcher, Sean Armstrong. Right? They lost
Memorial, Tampa Bay
Class
Rays.
A. They lost Class A and Luis Ortiz. Yeah,
Well, Class A lost because he got himself in a gambling scandal. That's the
yeah,
story.
yeah. It's a different
So
story
that's
for
not
another day.
free agency or release. Well, it is a release, I
Yeah,
guess.
so they did nothing.
So
That's
that's not their
crazy.
fault.
That's pretty crazy, right? They did
Who
nothing.
else made the playoffs last year? Let's see. You said the Blue Jays, Yankees. Uh, you said the Rangers already. What about Houston? Give me Houston.
Houston, hold got it right here. It's a C. They ended up getting nobody, nobody really.
Nobody of importance.
Exactly. And they lost Valdez,
Valdez.
you know what I'm saying, obviously, and Victor Caratini, pretty
Mm.
much. Uh, didn't do much.
Who else? Um, Brewers. What about the Cubs? Give me the Cubs. I'm just thinking of teams, playoff teams. I'm just rounding
Okay.
off in my head.
I think Cubs are up there. Oh, they got a B. So
Okay.
obviously they got, they got Bergman, right? They got
Yep.
Shota, Amini Matnaga, whatever that guy. You know that guy. Yeah, he's good. So they got him, right? They got Edward Cabrera, Phil Matone. You know,
Cabrera came from the Marlins. That's right.
yeah, and then Matone member for the Mets.
Who?
Phil Matone,
Okay.
right?
Was he a pitcher? I
The
don't know.
pitcher, yeah, he's the pitcher,
Relief pitcher.
yeah.
What about the Reds?
Reds, garbage. I think.
See, the Reds are a team that they just need one or two more pieces because they got the right coach now to lead them in Terry Francona.
Well, they got a C
That
minus. C minus. Right. So they picked up
Brett
Eugenio
Simmons.
Suarez, which is great for them. Third baseman slash DH. Emilio Pagan was re-signed. Pierce Johnson, Caleb Ferguson. They didn't do much. I don't know these
Pierce Johnson
names.
came from the Braves, I think. Maybe not. And then
Yeah.
who else?
Brock Burke, JJ Blade,
No, name the other guys. One guy I think was a former Oriole. He's unfamiliar.
Caleb Ferguson,
No,
Pierce Johnson.
no,
Emilio Pagan was maybe
million. No, who
uh,
else?
and Eugenio Suarez. That's it.
Eugenio Suarez. I thought it
Yeah, they
was
lost Austin Hayes. They lost Nick
former
Martinez,
Oriole.
Gavin Lux, Taylor Rogers, Brent Sutter, and Zach Little.
Okay, yeah,
They
okay.
ain't
Never.
going nowhere. That's Steve Monies. They ain't going nowhere. You could tell, it's gonna be up there on top, just like that. Just like playoff situations. I can see Boston getting into one. The Dodgers, obviously. I can see Detroit getting into with that rotation. I can see that happening. Seattle Mariners, you know what happened last year. I can see it. The Mets with that team, yes. The Blue Jays, obviously. Baltimore, obviously. See Atlanta. I don't know. St. Louis, Chicago, Pittsburgh, San Francisco. I don't know. Let's see what happens. It sounds like good playoff
All
team.
right. So out of the teams that got the A, do you think they
Yeah,
should have
yeah. I think they.
deserved the A? You think they should have? No, they got
I,
the
I,
two
no,
generous.
no, I think it sounds good. I think it looks good. I think the teams that got the A's, when a team wins two in a row and then they go out there and make themselves even better, how could you not give them the A?
I wonder how the grading is done. Is it based off fan reaction or is it based on like
I
how
mean, I
they
think it's based
determine
on numbers and
the
names.
grading
I think it's based on numbers and names. You know
names?
what I'm
Okay.
saying? Come on, man. It's like what over 500 baseball players, right? Something like that. And there's household names and there's guys that slip through the cracks, right?
Yeah.
So if you have a lot of those household names, then and the numbers are there, forget it.
Yeah.
So what else we going to talk about, bro? There's a lot of
So
good.
the last topic at hand is the this year for 2026 the MLB has come up with a new deal, and the new deal basically a new TV package. So what's not changing? Fox will still host the World Series, Division Series, the Championship Series, the WBC, all the games for the WBC in
Oh yeah,
America.
that's
Yep,
awesome.
and select games throughout the season. TBS will stay the same. They'll do the Division Series and the Championship Series. So they basically cover, I think, the AL Division Series and Championship, and the Fox does the NL, I think, or maybe it might be vice versa. Right? Either way, and they also gonna keep the rights to Tuesday Night Baseball, which I don't remember. So basically, every Tuesday is a base. It's they're trying to be like the football with the Thursday Night Football. Sad, it's just stupid.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I mean, it's more
Apple,
baseball for us.
yeah. Well, I disagree. Yeah, it's more baseball, but I don't need to log into 15,000 apps just to watch my team play one game on Apple TV. Anyway,
I don't
Apple
know.
TV's
Yeah, I feel you, but listen, man, I don't
stupid.
care. If I can
I
watch
care.
it, I can watch it.
Anyway, Apple TV's keeping Friday Night Baseball doubleheaders during the season. MLB Network is going to keep live games and in studio shows. And then what's new? Here's the new ESPN, excuse me, NBC is taking over. They just signed a 3-year deal with NBC. They're taking over Sunday Night Baseball, 25 exclusive games. Remember, ESPN, Sunday Night Baseball used to be on ESPN. NBC is trying to take over all the Sunday night games. To keep the page. You already have the football, and they started doing the NBA now on NBC during the regular season. Peacock is still going to keep the um, Sunday leadoff. So last year they were on Roku, the 11 o'clock games. Do you remember the 11 o'clock games they would play? So
No,
now they're gonna be on Peacock instead of Roku. They're also going to get on Wild Card Series and Opening Day and Labor Day. Um, NBC will present the first hour of the MLB draft, which nobody cares, and the futures game, which nobody cares.
I mean, there's
Um,
a lot of shit I'm not gonna care for. Listen, if the Mets go 0-15 in the first, 20 games, I mean, in the first 15 games, 0-15, you think I'm gonna care about the season or baseball?
no,
Exactly. All right. So, and this year, listen, if this team doesn't make the playoffs, I don't. I'm not watching the playoffs. Okay.
and then Netflix is the new another new addition. Netflix is going to have opening night, New York Yankees,
Yeah.
because opening day is the 27th. Opening night is the 26th of March. So
Okay.
opening night is going to be New York Yankees versus San Francisco Giants.
That's
You're
awesome.
going to have the Home Run Derby, which is in Philadelphia, on Netflix. And they're also going to have the Field of Dream games versus Phillies versus Twins sometime in August.
You know what? That's actually cool because the other day I actually saw. I forgot the guy's name. The guy that climbed that joint in Japan or some shit like
Oh,
that. Went up.
The Wiring Act, or
No, he no wires, man. He went up straight up on some. You know what I'm saying? Nothing holding him. It was
wow.
windy. It was crazy. Yo, so I saw it on Netflix. It was a live event. You know what I'm saying? So they do live events pretty well. You know what I'm saying? So
Oh, they're doing the WrestleMania.
who's doing
They
this?
do
Oh,
that now.
oh, I didn't know that. Who on Netflix?
Yeah. Yeah, I think the WrestleMania or WWE's on Netflix now too, something
I
like
think
that.
I think something. I think you're right about that. And it's live too, right? Yeah,
And
yeah.
then yeah, and then so the cool thing about Netflix, so all the WBC games will only be aired on Netflix, but only in Japan, which is kind of cool.
Oh,
I guess to accommodate the time, because you remember, it just makes sense because Netflix is universal, where Fox is not universal. You know what I mean? It's only in the states, so that makes sense.
yeah.
So only if you're in Japan. I'm guessing. I don't know if it's only in Japan. I guess it says only in Japan. So I guess so. I guess. So I don't know how that works because I guess. Well, I guess because you know what it is. I'm guessing all the Latino countries. I guess they do it on ESPN Deportes. I guess. So I guess that's how they stream them games. I don't know. I'm just guessing.
I don't know.
ESPN is getting the rights to MLB.TV out of town games, plus in market games San Diego, Cleveland, Seattle, Minnesota, Arizona, and Colorado. So a lot of teams started doing going the individual route, kind of like what the Mets did, but they were through FanDuel, or MLB had their own individual. So all MLB. So I have MLB.TV. I renewed it, but this year I'm splitting with my friend Nathan, and he's a Pirates fan, and we're gonna split it. So instead of watching the MLB at bat on the MLB, you have to go on ESPN to watch the games. So it's 150 still. The price is still the same. The only difference is that I don't like is that you also have to pay for the ESPN subscription too. So it's $30 a month plus the one-time fee of the 150 for, and then also ESPN is going to get 30 exclusive weeknight regular season games.
This just sounds super complicated, but if I
This is
have
why
that
I hate it.
occasion, I'm gonna watch it. But this is the funny thing, man. Listen, this year, this team looks good, so I'm gonna actually try to work more of those. I'm gonna work the games, but I want to sit down for more of them. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna actually get, I'm gonna sit down, have my little beer after work, even if I have to leave. Make it to the second, third inning, whatever. But I want to sit down and watch a lot of it. You know what I'm saying? So, because why not, right? But as long as it's warm, I think that's like around May, June.
Mhm.
April's gonna be tough to watch a game out there because it gets so cold unless you bring a coat. I guess I don't know. I haven't tried
So
a coat.
one thing I was gonna say was, baseball is a very regional sport. When it becomes to baseball fans, all you really care about is your team. You know what I mean? Like
Exactly.
for us, it's important because we watch all the games, so we have topics to talk about. But for example, like the Mets, I can just go get it's called the Gotham Sports app. I don't know if you heard about it. So with the Gotham
Oh,
Sports app, you get SNY, you get the Rangers, the Devils, the Knicks, Nets, and Islanders for one time. It's not one. It's just like a deal. It's like a yearly, or either you can do a yearly subscription or a monthly.
really? I didn't know that. Yeah,
Yes,
that's
yes.
kind of
Call the
cool.
Gotham Sports app. Um, the Orioles have and the Boston Red Sox. The Red Sox have a Nesson, and the Yankees have their own. So the Yankees are also on the Gotham Sports app too. I forgot about that. Anyway, the Boston Red Sox have Nesson, which is their TV network, but they have an individual where you could just buy for the year. You could just buy all the Red Sox games for the year. Just subscribe to the Red Sox games, and you just watch the games through there. And you get every Red Sox game, unless they're on Apple or Peacock. Then you don't get those games. Same thing with the Orioles. I could just specifically get a subscription for Masson and get all the Orioles and Nationals games. Um, and then just the games I don't get would be the games that are on either ESPN or Fox or or the Netflix. Now the Atlanta Braves, they're breaking away from FanDuel. So right now they haven't announced it yet, but right now they don't have a TV partner. So I think they're gonna do what the Mets did, which is have their own version of SNY. I like what the Mets did. Yeah,
You think so? Yeah,
SNY.
you like that? I mean, it's kind
Yeah,
of difficult to watch games
individual.
now.
Now, if you have the app, you download the Gotham Sports app. You get all the games. And the nice thing about that too is it's not blacked out. That's the nice thing. I like the Atlanta Braves games. All right, so the MLB.TV. If the Orioles are playing the Atlanta Braves, I can't watch the game. But
I
if
know
I
I hate
switch
that.
over
I hate
to
that
their
happens to me too. I can't watch any Met games on that, bro.
yeah, but if I switch to the Gotham Sports app, I can watch all the Mets games. I can watch all the Braves games on FanDuel or whatever they're gonna come up with. So that's why I like the individual because individually, I just want to watch all my games and I don't have to wear game blackouts. Even
Yeah,
if they're
yeah,
playing the Braves, if the Orioles are playing the Braves, I can still watch the I can still watch the game. You know what I mean? Where on on MLB.TV, all the Braves games are blacked out on MLB unless I'm in New Jersey or your house and watching the Braves game, then I can watch it. So I kind of like the individual because I'll be honest with you, who do I really follow? I care about my team and that's about it. I watch highlight nowadays with baseball. You can just watch
yeah.
highlights of the Mets. I can watch highlights of the Yankees.
All
I don't
day.
all day.
I
I
can
don't need.
watch Mets
Yeah,
highlights all day.
if I missed a
You know,
game, or we need to talk about, or something interesting happened that we talk about for the podcast, I'll just do a YouTube video and boom, it's right there. So I know why baseball's doing it. It's a money grab. It's all about money. The more money you pay. I think they paid what was it? They paid a lot of money to NBC to get that Sunday night baseball because it was a big deal. So it's all right. Well, we'll pay that, and then ESPN's like, okay, well, we'll take over MLB.TV. So it'll be interesting how that works. Uh, But that's the new baseball TV deal.
yeah.
Um, do you?
So
What's your thoughts?
I think it's a little crazy, like you said, but you know what? Listen, I usually don't have a problem with that. I watch the games on SNY. I try to stay hip with it. I have the MLB TV. I can watch pretty much any other game, except for the blackout problem, So I don't, it's weird, but whatever. Actually, they kind of like try to combine it, thing where, you have SNY, you could watch the Met game through the MLB app or whatever. It's a little confusing, but whatever. But I got a trivia question for you, and then after that, we're out of here. So we're gonna give you, this question. Let's see what you got. This is a player. I'm gonna tell you now. So this one, when I hit you with it, a player that you definitely watch play. You know, not too long ago. This is a player that you saw a lot of his career. So it's not like somebody that you don't know. Okay, and obviously, a guy with the type of question I'm going to ask you was obviously a household name.
Mm,
I'm going to say that he only played for two teams,
okay,
and I'm not going to give you any more. Oh,
clues.
and if I want to describe him to someone in the NBA, he reminds me of Dennis Rodman, and I'm not going to go any further on that. All right, so I'll give you a couple of hints because it's a hard question. But
Dennis
who has the
Rodman.
most grand slams in MLB history?
Let's see. Someone that I knew. It's not Ortiz. It's not Jeter.
Someone that you saw play uh, the majority of his career.
Let's see. I saw a majority of Derek Jeter. I saw a majority of Alex Rodriguez. I saw the majority of David Ortiz. Let's see.
So we're talking about Grand Slams, right?
Yeah,
Okay. So who do you think it is?
I saw Mark McGuire. I saw Barry Bonds, Sammy Sosa. Um, is he like recently retired or you have to be a retired guy?
I'm not gonna give you. I gave you a lot of hints already, so I'm not
Okay,
gonna give you any more hints. I gave you up. I gave you what? Like what? 10 hints.
I know you did. Okay,
You know.
so
So that
the
breaks
NBA
it.
one is the NBA one is an interesting hint.
Okay.
So is the NBA similar to Dennis Rodman in the sense of all right? So what you're basically saying, this guy was very either flamboyant or very flashy. Is what you're saying. That's the hint I'm getting from the way you just if you're saying he's comparison to Rodman as far as is the way he was flashy or you know what I mean?
The way he moved around with women.
Oh, okay, he's loose.
No,
Mm.
well, he dated a lot of high end female celebrities. They both
Oh,
did.
okay.
They both did. Just to give that's a little bullshit hint that you
Oh
know.
yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. I forgot about that. Oh man, a star.
And you know, you already
Yeah,
mentioned it. You mentioned him.
I
You
meant I'm
mentioned
gonna go with Alex Rodriguez.
that's exactly who it is. You hit
Look at that.
25. 25.
Wow.
That's a lot, right? That's a lot. I
Listen,
didn't
you
know
know I
that
gotta work
either.
through the question. I gotta work through it. That's why I just rattle off names and then
Yeah, no, you did. That was good though. But
that was a good question, man.
that was a good question. All right, so we came down to the end of it. I hope you enjoyed it. Next week, you know, we'll be even closer to, you know, what we all want this season to motherfucking start. Hope you
Yeah, and
enjoyed
then
it.
we're gonna I'm queuing up the World Baseball
National
Classic.
Classic, yes, sir.
It's gonna be just an individual podcast on that. So that's gonna be a lot to break down.
Yeah,
So
I'm
that's
gonna have
coming up.
fun with that one. I want to
Yeah.
see what happens. Even though I'm not in it for, you know, obviously Puerto Rico's not gonna win it now. That's for sure. But whatever. We'll talk about that next week,
Listen,
the
you still
week
got the
after.
USA.
Exactly. And now we still got DR too. You know, I want to watch DR smash. But
No,
anyway,
I want them to lose.
uh,
They're the powerhouse in this whole and yeah, they're the
anyway,
powerhouse.
you're crazy.
They're
They're the powerhouse. I want to see them win.
dude, they got all stars at every. So did America. Don't get me wrong, but
I mean, you know, we'll see.
they're
Peace,
like the
y'all.
Americas in hockey.
Peace. Nah,
See you, man.
peace, peace.